Hey, what's up, car fam? I know this is a really exciting car that a lot of people are cross-shopping between the GR Corolla, the Civic Type R, the Golf R, and a couple other options. But I know this one, as far as pricing goes and performance, it seems like it's a sweet value. So I wanted to just kind of do an overview of what you get on the interior for this one, as far as like the overall design and build quality from my first impressions. I've never sat in this car before, so let's check it out. All right, so I know the looks are definitely subjective. I've seen some people that are starting to modify these and actually track these and really enjoy them. My personal taste, it's not really my style at all, but I wanted to show this because I know a lot of people are interested in this car, and that's what this channel is about, is kind of showing the options of like what you get and just initial impressions and my overall thoughts on someone that would be, even considering this car, what you get for the price. So the front end, I think, is one of the areas where I think a lot of people are a little bit either on, love it or hate it. It's definitely one of those type of things. It is cool to see that they did start to add some of these elements here to the design to hopefully, I'm assuming, help with airflow as the air kind of travels around. And then even in this section here, actually seeing that that's functional, that's super cool. So Honda's definitely come a long way compared to like the Hyundais of the past. Back in the 90s, like their quality and things like that has definitely stepped up. I do like the wheels on these. I think they did a good job with like the tire choice and then also even like the design. Like this section here, like even me seeing it here on the camera, I really like how this looks. The red trim, that would be something that, if you were looking to kind of like tone this down a little bit and give it more of a classic OEM Plus type of look, get that blacked out to kind of match some of the other like dark plastic that they kind of have around the car. I think that would definitely make it look a little less cheap, in my opinion. But it is cool to see that they did consider like airflow, since this is turbocharged. That's always something you have to keep in mind with kind of managing heat on these cars, especially if you're going to be tracking it and things like that. Airflow is definitely super important. I do like the mirror design on here. I like how it's a little bit sculpted, so you can see there. And then even here, you can kind of see like it's not just completely rounded off like most cars. It actually has a little bit of style and shape to it. And believe it or not, that does play a role in how loud you hear some of the wind noise coming around the mirror as you're driving. So it's cool to see that they even added that. I do like how the side skirt there is extended. Like this is definitely not your traditional Hyundai Elantra N, and I know some people really love these cars, especially for the price, because some of the other competitors really have a pretty big markup. So when you're cross-shopping and really trying to stick within a certain price point, I know this is definitely a sweet spot because it outperforms the Civic Si, but you get more performance for the price and things like that. So this here I think is really nice. It's a really good material. You have the tweeter there. This, I feel like they definitely cut some cost on like the design of it and just the material that they use. But I do like this here. It's kind of like a dark chrome, I'm sorry, not dark chrome, but kind of like a dark metallic finish. Like that's really nice. I've never seen manufacturers offer something in this price point with such a nice premium door handle, something you're going to be touching all the time. And then this one here comes with the Bose speaker. So I like how they actually kind of use this material, and it really hides like the speaker pattern or the holes for it, because some manufacturers, like all you see is just like holes in certain parts. This is a little bit more of a cleaner design and way that they did it. The seats are really nice. I like how the end there is actually illuminated, so you have the light there, and then again you have that nice material kind of within the seats, and then this looks like it's really bolstered. It doesn't seem like it's the softest, so if you are someone that is looking for a softer seat, we'll find out in just a few minutes how this actually feels, but from initial touch, this here is pretty hard. Steering wheel, I know you have the NGS button for like additional power temporarily. I think that's cool that they added that on the steering wheel just to make it more fun and playful for people. And then you have this really long extended display in a sense, where you have part of the display here, it's blacked out in the middle, and then again you have the screen there. It kind of reminds me of what BMW is doing with the 3 Series, where you have like this giant screen, but of course their own interpretation. So now that we're inside, I could tell this car is actually, seems like it's pretty well insulated. The windows are down, but I could tell even just from closing it, like the noise has drastically changed. So it seems like there's a decent amount of sound deadening for this car, and especially something that is performance based. I've never driven the DCT on a Hyundai, but from what I hear, it's actually pretty good, and I would take this over a CVT any day. So cool that you have an actual handbrake. That's becoming more and more rare nowadays, and then your passenger has a place to hold on for those super fun track days. The steering wheel, I feel like they did a really good job. I like this better than the Golf R that I was just in. That one had a similar kind of style, and it kind of reminds me of it, but this just gives you even more confidence the way it feels. So as you can see, the paddle shifters are really nice. They're actually have like a premium feel to them, and they're long and extended. Some cars, they are a little bit short, and all they give you is just like a little baby shifter right there. It's cool to see that they gave you some better quality for it. So I think for the price, compared to the SI and the performance you get, if you do not want to go the Honda route, I feel like interior wise this is definitely pretty good for the price, because the performance outweighs what you're getting on the inside, and it's not too much of a loss interior wise compared to, let's say, a Civic SI, in my opinion. Now Type R, that's a totally different beast and animal. I absolutely love that car, but as far as this goes, for the performance you get, the interior and things like that, I think this is a better bargain than the SI, considering that a lot of those do have, markups and things like that. So it's nice to see that even the back, especially a car at this price point, they actually gave you nice quality seats in the rear too. Some cars really just like dumb everything down once you get to the back, but in this one here, you actually have the same pretty much pattern and material used in the front. This here is still very, very firm, but once you're in the middle of the seat, it actually feels really good, and I'm really impressed for the price that you can get this car and the performance. It's definitely a fun package. I do really like the rear on this as far as like certain angles. I thought this was really creative to be able to have the wing in this own style. Right now, a lot of cars look so similar, and seeing that they've kind of like have almost like a triple wingspan type of setup there just makes it look really good. This car in black I actually like. It's just some of the red accents I think can be done away with. And it's cool that in the middle you kind of have I'm assuming that's just a reflector, but I'm guessing maybe in the aftermarket or maybe in the next couple of years they'll have that where it almost has that like Subaru brake light where it's just in the middle and the rear of the car. I think that's super cool. So the rear end is actually really good on this car. All right, so there's a look at the Hyundai Elantra N. I hope that gave you a pretty good taste of what the car looks like as far as the inside and the outside of the car. I think for the price that you're getting, I haven't driven this car on track or anything like that, but I've heard really great things about it. So hopefully you can check it out at your local dealership and then see if this is something that checks the boxes for you. Catch you in the next video. Peace.